My name is Jessica Speaks, and this is my EDUC 526 capstone presentation for the Masters in Digital Teaching and Learning program at Azusa Pacific University. I began my journey in September 2012, and time has literally flown by. I've always known from a young age I wanted to be a teacher. I've always been drawn toward assisting students in their education. I honestly think my journey was directed towards APU from something much bigger and greater than myself. I was fortunate to be welcomed into the multiple subject credential program at Masters in Digital Teaching and Learning, which I have been extremely impressed with. I think this was the path I was meant to follow. In the program, I have continued to learn so much about myself as a student and a teacher. This program has turned out to be so much more than just a way to meet my end goal of becoming a teacher. I have met some great peers and professors that I feel will be lifetime connections. The Digital Teaching and Learning program offers on-campus and online options for classes, making it convenient for anyone. The faculty in the program is so supportive, and you really get that feeling that they want you to succeed. The program prepares you for technology-enriched classrooms and has been a great experience. Throughout my journey at APU, it's hard to explain all the beneficial information and strategies I have learned. I now know the right ways to implement technology in the classroom to ensure all my students are able to learn to the best of their abilities. I have learned ways to include technology that align with the Common Core standards and have really become aware of the importance and influence technology has on our students. In the master's program, I have come across so many great apps and web tools that take the average classroom to a completely different level. I definitely think my educational visions have changed and progressed from the beginning of this program until now. This is a preview of my action research project. It is geared around one of my more problematic students in my extended instruction 4th grade class. This student is diagnosed with ADD, and at times it seems to get the best of him. He is an extremely bright student with great amounts of potential. I've struggled with his behavior from the beginning of the year, and I've tried to implement a number of tools that I think would keep him on track and not a distraction to himself as well as the other students. I've found most of the strategies I have tried seem to work for a couple of weeks, and then he gets bored and begins to act out. My hopes with this project is to find a way to control his behavior in a way that will benefit his learning in the long run. I want to set a plan in action that will stick and work for him. The action plan is 4 weeks in length. I have set a plan in motion between him and myself to help keep him stay on track and focused. I think if I can help him come up with a plan that is designed just for him, it could greatly impact how well he does in my class, as well as in future classes. I have come to realize I needed to alter my existing strategies so it encourages positive reinforcement. This student is really interested in martial arts and karate, so I've decided I wanted to find a way to incorporate this into my plan. I decided to create 4 cutout Taekwondo belts that he will have to earn throughout the class period. The printed Taekwondo belts will be given for good behavior instead of taking them away for bad, which was my initial strategy. I think this action plan will work well for his personality, and I think the positive reinforcement of earning the belts will hopefully change his outlook and attitude in the class. If he is able to gather all 4 belts throughout the class, he will be able to punch a hole in his earn and return card, which is a behavior management tool I have set for the whole group. When they reach all 10 hole punches, they get to go to the treasure box. This project will be a perfect way for me to keep myself accountable for implementing something new in hopes it will work. Throughout this action research journey, I've decided to create a chart documenting each day's successes and progress during the 4 weeks. Shown here is just a glance of what occurred each day during class time throughout those 4 weeks. When I set my plan into action, I had a positive outlook and attitude that this would work. To my surprise, during these 4 weeks, the action plan continued to work and has made not only the whole class flow better, but I can definitely see a change in attitude and confidence in him, which is what I was really aiming to do. I wanted to help him be successful inside and outside of the class, which I think I succeeded in doing. This project has not only helped my one struggling student, but has helped me become a better teacher in the way I implement strategies, as well as in the way I look at my students' capabilities. I've become more aware of my students' needs and what strategies will work best for their individual needs. My goal was to always encourage him to do his best, become aware of what he has to offer, and what an intelligent student he is. This project allowed me to re-examine a strategy I had already had in place and alter it for the better. I'm going to continue my action plan until the end of the year because I think this is something that really is working, and I continue to have high hopes for my action plan. I'm encouraged that I do have the power to help any student who needs it, and I'm excited to continue on my journey to becoming the best educator I can be. I have decided to complete my curricular unit on second grade life cycles. The portfolio covers a 3-week science unit that includes multiple uses of technology-enriched projects and assignments aligned with the Common Core standards. Students will learn about the different life cycles of insects and animals. The unit will allow the students to explore the different life cycles while completing activities that play on each of their multiple intelligences. Students will also have the ability to investigate the different life cycles, behaviors, and needs with the hopes of students developing an understanding and grasping the assortment of living things. The students will be able to use the information they learn to compare and contrast the different life cycles. The curricular unit portfolio covers a wide range of Common Core standards, as well as the California content standards focusing on life cycles. The unit also aligns with a variety of technology standards including creativity, communication, research and information fluency, digital citizenship, and technology operations. All of these technology standards are weaved throughout the curricular unit. The goal and purpose of my unit is for students to become familiar with ways to use technology in the classroom, in hopes that it will enhance their understanding and interest in the content. Technology is such an important part of the way students learn today and should be incorporated in lessons and activities as much as possible. This unit has a wide variety of technologies for students to take part in to better understand the content. Here are some QR codes linked to some of the tools used in the unit. Feel free to pause the video to check out these QR codes. These will take you to 3 of the websites that were featured in the unit. Check them out! The portfolio unit covers many life cycle topics that are taught by a wide variety of resources and tools. This unit allows students to use technology to complete assignments and projects aligned with the Common Core standards. Some main technology elements in the portfolio include the tools Animoto, Songify, Body.com, which is a newspaper clipping generator, and TextIsBeautiful.com, a word cloud creator. One of the featured projects in the unit includes researching different life cycles using Google Search and YouTube while using a Word document to jot down their thoughts. They will then be working towards creating a newspaper clipping on their chosen life cycle. Students will be working on this activity independently. Students will become familiar with the fact that different plants, animals, and insects go through different life cycles. This activity touches on the intrapersonal, naturalist, logical, and verbal intelligences. This is an example of the rubric for the newspaper clipping project. This rubric will be used to assess the student's research, grammar, and overall completion of the final project. All of the lessons in my curricular unit will be assessed with a rubric that corresponds with the project or task. I feel this way of assessment gives students the basic guidelines of what is expected of them and assesses the student's understanding of the content. In another project, students will be gathering information using Google and YouTube to create an Animoto presentation. They will use a Google spreadsheet to organize their thoughts. They will then be working in small groups to create their art models of the cycle, and eventually take photographs to input into the Animoto app. They will have to choose music and a template for their presentation. This activity touches on the musical, interpersonal, naturalist, and logical intelligence. Students will also be using the paper app to sketch a life cycle and take short descriptive notes. They will transfer their notes onto a Word document in order to copy and paste their completed sentences of the life cycle onto a word cloud app. Students will use their research to create their very own word cloud. This activity touches on the intrapersonal, visual, logical, and verbal intelligence. In another project, small groups of students will work together to gather information on a chosen life cycle. Once the information is gathered, they will use the Notebook app to jot down the facts of their cycle. Students will then use a Word document to create a short poem or song lyrics that will then be used to create a song using the Songify app on iPad. This activity touches on the interpersonal, intrapersonal, musical, logical, and verbal intelligences. These are just a few of the technology-enriched lessons, activities, and projects students will be taking part in throughout this unit. Technology is a gateway for students and teachers to increase their knowledge of content and can be beneficial for teachers to find new and innovative ways to teach. Educators can also use technology as a tool to make their classroom current and engaging. Technology is a new wave of the future and will continue to advance. Throughout this program, it has opened up my eyes to a whole new way of looking at how to create a productive learning environment. It has given me a different way to look at how my students learn and how each and every one of them is different. It is important to make sure we are able to implement different technologies and resources that fit the needs of all of our learners. When it comes down to it, we teach for the students, we teach to help our students be the best they can be, and we teach in hopes to help change the world for the better.